Everyone knows I'm the one Old Man Harper personally chose to be the bride in the marriage alliance. Only the man who marries me is deemed worthy to inherit the Harper family legacy. At my engagement ceremony, I wore a custom-made haute couture gown, stepping onto the stage to announce the union between the Harper and Dawson families. But my fiancé, Ethan Harper, gripped Lily Dawson's hand tightly, pulling her into the center of the crowd to stand side by side with me. "What's between me and Lily is mutual love. My wife can only be her," he declared. "Chloe Dawson is too stubborn. She's not fit to be the Harper family's matriarch." Suddenly, my engagement to Ethan was reassigned to my foster sister, Lily, and I became the laughingstock under pitying and mocking gazes. What Ethan didn't know was the reason Old Man Harper chose me. My mother is the heir to the secretive Dawson family. One day, I'll return to my mother's family and take over the Dawson empire. If Ethan has made his choice, then the heir to the Harper family should be reconsidered as well. At the ceremony, Ethan held Lily's hand tightly, pulling her into the spotlight of everyone's attention. Lily, flustered, tried to pull away. "Ethan, don't do this. Your engagement to Chloe was decided by Grandpa himself." But Ethan was resolute, gripping her hand and looking straight at Old Man Harper, seated at the head of the room. "Grandpa, the one I love, from beginning to end, has always been Lily. I will only marry her." The guests began to whisper, their pitying and mocking glances falling on me. Everyone knew Ethan and I grew up together, that I was the future daughter-in-law Old Man Harper had chosen. Yet today, at our engagement ceremony, in front of the entire elite society, he humiliated me without hesitation. His voice was cold and firm. "Though Chloe and I grew up together, I've always seen her as a sister. There's never been romantic love between us. Lily and I have been in love for a long time, and she's the only one worthy of being my wife. No one else can compare." Ethan's parents' faces shifted noticeably, glancing nervously at Old Man Harper. Ethan wrapped his arm around Lily's waist and looked at me with a mocking glint in his eyes. "Chloe, you know I have no feelings for you. You wouldn't want to marry someone who doesn't love you and waste your life, would you? Besides, Lily and I are together now. Don't think you can use Grandpa's favor to interfere with our love." I looked at them silently, then turned to Old Man Harper. "Grandpa, if they truly love each other, I shouldn't stand in their way. I wish them a lifetime of happiness." Ethan's face darkened slightly at my words, while Lily quickly nestled into his arm, murmuring, "Ethan, but the engagement between you and Chloe was arranged by Grandpa. Won't he be upset?" Ethan gently patted her hand, his voice soft. "No, Grandpa loves me the most. Why would he be angry over this? Besides, you're the true daughter of the Dawson family, the future heir. This marriage alliance was always meant to be between you and me. She's just an outsider. Why bother with her?" Only my father and Old Man Harper knew the truth about my background. My mother is the heir to the secretive Dawson family. My parents' marriage was a business alliance, and I took my mother's surname because I'm destined to inherit the Dawson family's empire. As for Lily, Ethan mistakenly thought she was my father's biological daughter. Hearing this, Old Man Harper frowned. "Ethan, don't be reckless. Are you sure you want to marry Lily?" Without hesitation, Ethan slipped a ring onto Lily's finger and kissed it gently. "Grandpa, I've thought it through. In this lifetime, I'll only marry Lily." Old Man Harper looked at his grandson with disappointment. If it were just about changing the bride, he could accept it, but Ethan's public humiliation of me showed he wasn't someone who could be trusted with the family legacy. "Fine, do as you wish," Old Man Harper said. The room seemed to relax, and the guests let out a collective sigh. The engagement ceremony had drawn many influential figures from the business world, all curious to see how this would unfold. Amid the murmurs, Ethan held Lily's hand and faced the guests. "Thank you all for attending my engagement to Lily Dawson." The guests' expressions varied. Nobody expected the Harper and Dawson families to switch brides mid-ceremony. My father was stunned, his face darkening instantly. I wasn't much better, but kept my back straight, raising my glass to offer a grand toast under the scrutinizing eyes of the crowd. Didn't expect Ethan to swap fiancés on the spot. No respect for Chloe at all. Wasn't Old Man Harper set on Chloe as his granddaughter-in-law? Why did he agree to this? Wonder what Chloe did to make Ethan act like this. The whispers weren't quiet. My father shot Lily an angry glance before turning to Ethan, his voice no longer polite. "Have you thought about how much gossip Chloe will have to endure because of this? You're not a kid anymore. Don't you consider the consequences? Or are you deliberately trying to humiliate her?" Lily, scolded by our father, trembled and tried to return the ring to me, but Old Man Harper raised a hand to stop her. He gently patted my head, his voice steady but apologetic. "Chloe, don't worry. I'll make things right for you. If you agree, the Harper family still has a few good grandsons." Ethan's parents thought Old Man Harper was just comforting me and didn't take it seriously. But they didn't expect me to point to a corner of the room where someone stood casually watching the drama unfold. Nathan Harper, the illegitimate son of the Harper family. "The one I've always liked is Nathan. I hope you can support us, Grandpa." All eyes turned to Nathan, shifting between him and me with clear curiosity. Nathan was the illegitimate son of Ethan's uncle. After his father's death, he wasn't welcomed in the family and had a tough life. Old Man Harper, not wanting to be accused of mistreating a child, had brought him into the fold. My father, stunned, whispered to me, "Chloe, I know you're upset, but he's an illegitimate son. No one in the Harper family respects him." I calmly swirled my wine glass and raised it toward Nathan with a slight smile. "It's not his fault he was born out of wedlock. I think he's great, and I want to give it a try." Nathan's eyes met mine, his tone lazy but composed. "If Miss Dawson says so, then let's give it a try." The crowd's gazes grew more intrigued. The Harper family's bride swap became the talk of high society. As the party ended, I received a text from my mother. In a private room, she hugged me, glaring at my father. "Mark Dawson, you let my daughter suffer this humiliation. Are you looking for trouble?" I gently squeezed her hand, shifting the topic. "Grandpa Harper has changed the marriage partner for me. It's Nathan. I think he's fine." My father wiped the sweat from his brow and sighed. "He's just an illegitimate son in the Harper family, practically invisible. Why choose him?" I looked at my skeptical parents and said slowly, "The marriage between the Harper and Dawson families was set by Grandpa and my maternal grandfather. I must marry into the Harper family. Nathan may be illegitimate, but he's the most capable among the Harper heirs. For business collaboration, he's the best match. Plus, as an illegitimate son, marrying me gives him the Dawson family's backing to secure his place in the Harper family. He won't let me down." Lily, meanwhile, became the darling of high society, with people clamoring to connect with her. After all, it was a marriage alliance between two major conglomerates. Who wouldn't want a piece of that? I didn't care about such things. I was abroad, handling tasks assigned by my mother. Today was Old Man Harper's birthday, and Lily sent me a special invitation, even calling multiple times. I couldn't refuse and attended. As I stepped through the Harper estate's gates, all eyes turned to me. I didn't flinch, smiling as I handed my gift to the Harper family butler. "Chloe Dawson's here? Wasn't she replaced as the fiancé?" "Didn't you hear? Ethan swapped her out on the spot. and she was so mad she chose to marry the illegitimate son just to get into the Harper family. Ms. Dawson sure plays bold. As the chatter continued, Lily appeared ostentatiously, arm in arm with Ethan. Gone was her former gentle humility. Today, she wore a dazzling designer gown, dripping with intricate, expensive jewelry that bordered on gaudy. Seeing me, she approached, feigning familiarity and trying to link arms. "Sis, both of us marrying into the Harper family is just perfect. For the sake of our sisterhood, I'll make sure Ethan supports your husband more." I nearly laughed out loud. Even now, she thought all I cared about was marrying into the Harper family. Ethan thought the same, looking at me as if I were something filthy, assuming I'd resorted to desperate measures to join their family. I didn't bother arguing and turned to leave when I noticed a jade bracelet on Lily's wrist, its color strikingly beautiful. It was the Harper family's heirloom bracelet, always guarded by Old Man Harper. I hadn't expected to see it on her. Perhaps because she wore 3 or 4 bracelets at once, I hadn't noticed it earlier. The Harper family heir hadn't been officially named yet. How was this bracelet on her wrist? I pointed at it, my gaze questioning. "Where did you get that bracelet?" Ethan's eyes flickered with guilt while Lily gently touched the bracelet, her face full of grievance. "Sis, this bracelet was meant for you, but since I'm the one marrying Ethan, it naturally belongs to me." Ethan nodded smugly, believing his position as the Harper heir was secure. Giving the bracelet to his beloved wasn't a big deal. "This is the Harper family's heirloom bracelet. I can give it to whomever I want. What's it to you?" He sneered, looking me up and down with disdain. "Don't think you can use cheap tricks to cling to me. I'll never like you. My heart belongs only to Lily." His voice wasn't quiet, and eyes turned to me again. "Chloe always seemed so proud, but she's so desperate to join the Harper family she's even chasing her future brother-in-law. With their love so strong, why's she still trying to interfere?" Lily blushed, playfully nudging Ethan's shoulder. "Don't talk about sis like that. She's joining our family too. You should help her and her husband more." Ethan glanced at me, then caressed Lily's cheek indulgently. "Fine, for your sake, I won't make a fuss. But if she tries anything with me, don't blame me for being rude." As they played out their affectionate drama, a voice interrupted from behind. "Why would my wife have any reason to scheme against you, Ethan? Talking to your future sister-in-law like that isn't a bit rude?" Nathan Harper, supporting Old Man Harper, stepped in from the entrance, his lips curled in a faint, challenging smile as he looked at Ethan. Old Man Harper's face darkened as he noticed the jade bracelet on Lily's wrist. "Who gave you permission to wear that? Take it off." His voice, though not loud, carried a chilling authority. Lily, panicked, quickly removed the bracelet, her face pale. Ethan muttered unhappily. "Grandpa, I gave it to Lily. It'll be mine eventually, so what's the harm in her wearing it now?" Old Man Harper didn't respond, only giving him a cold glance before heading to the head table with Nathan. Clearing his throat, Old Man Harper addressed the guests. "Today, besides my birthday, I have joyful news to share. My grandson, Nathan, will soon be engaged to Chloe Dawson. I hope you'll all join us for a toast at their celebration." The announcement stunned the room, with eyes darting between Nathan and me in disbelief. Ethan froze, glaring at us. "What are you saying, Grandpa? Why is Chloe engaged to Nathan? He's just a bastard son." Old Man Harper cut him off sharply. "Nathan is my grandson and a Harper. After the last engagement fiasco, I met with Nathan privately." In that meeting, Nathan looked at me with a knowing smile. "I'm just a bastard son. There are plenty of better men in the Harper family. Why choose me?" I handed him a file. "Because you need me and I need you. This partnership is the best option." He glanced at the file without taking it, smirking. What could we possibly collaborate on? I pushed the file closer. I've investigated you. You're highly capable, and I want to work with you. If you had no ambitions for the Harper family, why have you been quietly making moves? His eyes narrowed with caution, but I leaned forward, meeting his sharp, ambitious gaze. Don't you want to know why Grandpa Harper said only the man who marries me can inherit the family? He stared at me for a long moment, then extended his hand. A pleasure to work with you, my fiancé. As expected, Old Man Harper began to favor Nathan after my choice. Nathan had been brought into the family quietly, without public acknowledgement, but Grandpa had likely investigated him and chose this birthday to announce our engagement and formally introduce Nathan. Ethan's parents were stunned by this reversal, clearly unprepared for Grandpa's public support of Nathan. To them, I was just the daughter of Mark Dawson's ex-wife, raised under her maiden name and seemingly uninvolved in the family business. They assumed I had no claim to the Dawson legacy, making Lily, the supposed heir, the better choice. Ethan's father, still reeling, clutched his chest to steady himself. Guests swarmed Nathan, congratulating him, while Ethan, once the arrogant golden boy, was pushed to the sidelines. Furious, he glared at me. You've barely met Nathan. Are you marrying him just to spite me? Before I could respond, Nathan stepped beside me, towering over Ethan with an imposing presence. Didn't you hear? Chloe likes me. Where do you get the confidence to think she'd want you? I took Nathan's arm, looking at Ethan with mild exasperation, like scolding a petulant child. I've already said I like Nathan. In every way, he's better than you. Stop deluding yourself. Ethan, unconvinced, stared at me, reaching for my hand. Chloe, I regret it. If you agree, I'll tell Grandpa I want to marry you. Lily's face paled, and she grabbed his sleeve, but he shook her off. I stepped back, my gaze calm and unwavering. I don't agree. The room fell silent, the guests stunned. Ethan wants to go back to Chloe? They grew up together. There must be some feelings there. Maybe Lily was just a fling, and now he's jealous seeing Chloe with someone else. Lily clenched her fists, her face bloodless and eyes teary. She threw herself into Ethan's arms, sobbing. You said you'd marry me, that you only loved me. Ethan, realizing his fiancée was still there, looked flustered. Old Man Harper stormed over, furious, and kicked Ethan. What are you doing? Is marriage a game to you? Do you think these women are market goods to pick and choose? You're making a mockery of the Harper family. Ethan turned to his parents for help. Mom, Dad, tell Grandpa. You wanted Chloe to marry me before. She's just mad at me and will regret choosing that bastard son. Old Man Harper's face darkened further. He had just named Nathan as the heir, and Ethan's outburst was humiliating the family. Ethan's father slapped him. Keep talking nonsense, and I'll break your legs. Apologize to Nathan and Chloe now. Under pressure, Ethan muttered. I drank too much and spoke out of turn. Chloe, don't take it to heart. I smiled, accepting his apology, then glanced at Lily, who was seething behind him. You should comfort your fiancé. That scene can't have been easy for her. All eyes turned to Lily, who craved attention, but not this kind of humiliation. She glared at me with resentment, then at Ethan, before stomping out. After the party, Ethan called me repeatedly, but I ignored him. My engagement to Nathan was set for the following Thursday. Though the timeline was tight, it was no issue for the Dawson family. My mother planned to announce me as the Dawson heir during the ceremony. Ethan, as a Harper grandson, had to attend. While Nathan handled the event details, I was in the dressing room trying on a stunning but heavy custom gown. A staff member rushed in, saying Nathan needed me urgently. As I reached the designated room, The door slammed shut behind me, and a hand clamped a drug-soaked cloth over my face. My body went limp, and as I was thrown onto a bed, I saw Ethan, his eyes wild and obsessive. "Once Nathan sees this, he'll never marry you. You'll be mine." I trembled with rage. "Are you insane? This will disgrace both families." He gritted his teeth, starting to unbutton my dress. "Why didn't you hesitate to choose someone else?" "You're mine." I laughed bitterly, too weak to resist properly. "You announced you'd marry someone else at our engagement, and now you blame me?" He leaned down, whispering, "I regret it. I realize you're the one I love." Just as he reached to tear my dress, the door burst open. Nathan yanked Ethan by the hair and threw him to the floor. Our eyes met, his filled with restrained fury. He carried me to another room, but I was too weak to proceed with the ceremony. I whispered instructions to my mother's assistant. Soon, chaos erupted in the hallway. Screams, shouts, and angry curses. Nathan returned, seeing me regain some strength, and leaned against the doorframe with a playful smirk. "You had someone drug him, didn't you?" I smiled, sitting up. "Just returning the favor." Nathan helped me out. The hallway was crowded. Lily was sobbing hysterically. Ethan was loosening his tie, trying to calm her, and a scantily clad woman stood nearby, watching coldly. Ethan's parents arrived, and the situation was clear to everyone. Ethan pointed at us, shouting, "They set me up! I was just—" He stopped, realizing he'd incriminated himself. Lily wailed, "How could you do this to me? You said you only loved me." The guests watched, whispering about Ethan's ruined reputation. Amid the drama, Nathan and I stepped onto the stage, ignoring Ethan's murderous glare. My mother, accompanied by Dawson family staff, stunned the guests. She took the microphone and calmly revealed my identity as the Dawson heir. Ethan and Lily were shell-shocked, while Ethan's parents' faces cycled through shock and embarrassment. They finally understood why Old Man Harper insisted only my husband could inherit the Harper legacy. After the engagement, Ethan and Lily became pariahs, shunned by those who once flattered them. Ethan tried to prove himself in business, but failed miserably, investing in unfamiliar fields and losing everything. He blamed Nathan for his failures, launching desperate attacks. Old Man Harper, fed up, stripped Ethan of all authority, leaving him a powerless shareholder. Meanwhile, Nathan and I thrived. He expanded our international markets, while I strengthened our domestic base. Nathan's business acumen was undeniable, meeting annual goals in 6 months. Old Man Harper recognized his talent, assigning him key roles to prepare him as the future Harper leader. As Nathan's star rose, Ethan's life crumbled. With no responsibilities, he indulged in debauchery. Lily caught him cheating, leading to endless fights. She miscarried after a heated argument where Ethan pushed her down the stairs. Their relationship deteriorated further when his mistress appeared pregnant at their home. Old Man Harper, furious, beat Ethan with a cane, hospitalizing him for a month. Ethan's father, a cunning man, needed a grand wedding to salvage the family's reputation, forcing Ethan to marry Lily. But Ethan's reputation never recovered, and he was mocked as a fallen prodigy compared to Nathan. In a final act of desperation, Ethan thought he could sabotage Nathan's project, accused of using substandard materials and leaking company secrets. But Lily, trying to help Ethan, had orchestrated the scheme. Realizing the fallout would destroy the Harper family, Ethan dragged her to Old Man Harper, confessing her actions. Lily, devastated, begged for forgiveness, but Ethan's family blamed her entirely. In the study, Old Man Harper recounted the events, glaring at Lily. My father, furious, pointed at her. "Why must you compete with your sister? Can't you live peacefully?" Lily, tears streaming, screamed, We're both your daughters. Why does Chloe get everything? You gave her the company, while I'm just a decorative vase. My father snapped. I gave you both the same things. I paid for your overseas education despite your poor grades. You'd bankrupt the company in a month. And Chloe's 35% stake comes from her mother, the largest shareholder. I only hold 12%, with 2% for myself and 5% each for you and Chloe. And one more thing, you're not my biological daughter. I adopted you. Check the records if you don't believe me. Lily was stunned, speechless. Ethan, hoping to rely on the Dawson family, was crushed. Nathan proposed a swift solution, resolving the crisis before it escalated. The company issued a statement, handing over the culprits to the authorities. Old Man Harper announced Nathan as the Harper heir at a press conference, sidelining Ethan's family. They retained minor shares, but lost all influence, blaming Lily for their downfall. Their constant fights became legendary. At our grand wedding, Nathan and I exchanged smiles, mouthing silently, "A pleasure to work with you."